a bit of a dilemma. You see, I'm quickly running out of food, and by food I don't mean all food, but specifically meats, bulk meats, specifically bulk meats you buy at Costco. And I should really go, and I could probably use the time I'm using right now to go to Costco, and I could make a whole vlog about it, and it would be fine. But I really don't want to. So the hope was, if I merely just ignore the problem for as long as possible, a solution will probably come, which it won't. And I guess I could always go to Costco on the weekends, but if you've ever been to Costco on a Saturday morning, you'll know that that's not a great plan either. So it's trying to find not only the time to go to Costco, but also the will to go to Costco. Which, I'm gonna be completely honest here, if given the option, I might just not eat lunch for a while. I mean, we still have some meat, it's just like, kind of the staples that we eat, we're running low on. And by low, we're out. But honestly, I'd rather skip lunch than go to Costco. I don't know why I hate going to Costco so much. It's boring, I guess. Is that a good enough excuse? I mean, I can say that I'm busy, which I am to a certain extent, but also I just really don't want to go to Costco. Now, I guess I could just ask Emily to go to Costco for me, and I guess that'd be fine. It's just, look, the thing about Emily is she is a wonderful human being. One of the greats, top 10 people. Certainly favorite wife I've ever had. But when it comes to grocery shopping, she has a tendency to buy things that aren't exactly necessary. I mean, it's not like we're on the brink of financial ruin, although if Emily asks, we definitely are. She has a tendency to buy things we don't need, which I'm not saying like I'm better at. I do that too sometimes, but she'll do it more than I will. And I know if I let her go to the grocery store by herself, she'll just buy things that we don't need. But I will say, she has the ability to splurge when I don't. And I'm grateful when she goes by herself, because she'll buy things that I would never buy for myself, like grapes. Like, I love grapes. I think grapes are delicious, but if you ask me, I just won't buy grapes because they're like they're a delicacy. I mean, I know they're not expensive, and it's just like a fruit, but like, it just feels like it's not a necessity, right? The way you need like rice or meat or what have you. So I've often kind of pushed fun things like grapes to the side, and she'll buy them. So it's good to send her to the store by herself, but I'm afraid if I send her to Costco, she'll come back with about $500 worth of stuff we definitely don't need. So when I was looking for a trail to shoot this piece and talk about how I'm conflicted of who should go to Costco, because if Emily goes, we spend more money, but then I don't have to go. But if I go, we spend a lot less money, but then we don't get fun things. It's a real pro and con that I haven't yet decided. But I was walking down this trail, and well, if you can see down here, this is ice. I've been walking on a trail of ice for a while now. It must be, I assume it's part of this river, so it's probably not the safest place to stand. If I'm being honest, I should probably move. I mean, it's probably only like, what, a couple inches deep, maybe a foot tops. Probably should have looked into that before I started walking here. But it's all, I mean, if you look down the path, it's all covered in snow, so how would I know? But I think I'm gonna get off of it, because it doesn't seem like a very good idea to continue to stand on this piece of ice. So I'm gonna be honest, today's episode I've definitely sort of phoned in. I mean, the whole Costco thing, it probably should have just gone to Costco. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, well, I already said some songs to this vlog, maybe I'll go to Costco tomorrow when I can't think of anything. But as I was looking for a park to hike at, there's a ton. I've been to a lot of them. I wanted to go to a place new, so I went to this place called Meadowlark Park. And it's I mean, if you look behind me, it's pretty lame. But I'm like 60% sure those buildings behind me are where I have my therapy sessions. So I'm gonna go check over there. It says private property, but how will they know I don't live here? I want to know if this is where I am, because I honestly, even though I've lived in Carmel for years now and lived in Hamilton County my whole life. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not exactly sure where I am. Let's find out. So yeah, this is definitely the building where I go to therapy. I guess you guys might not know that I go to therapy. It helps with, you know, my mind. I think everyone should do it. I'm trying to encourage my parents to go to couples therapy. Not that they're in a bad relationship. They're doing well, or my mom and stepdad at least. I don't know about anyone else, but I think couples therapy is a good thing. Me and Emily don't do it, but that's just because we don't have insurance. I mean, we're on our parents' insurance, but that's the whole thing. And plus, we're busy all the time, which I know is an excuse. But I do go to personal therapy here, and it works pretty well. I mean, it doesn't fix everything, and you shouldn't pretend like it should, but I think everyone should spend a little bit of time in therapy. It's a pretty good idea. So as far as Costco goes, that's gonna be a no-go. Maybe I'll push it off for a day or a week, or pretty much as long as I can push it off. It's just, I know Costco is full of savings. It's just such a hassle to drive all the way over there, and then it's just like it's just so overwhelming. And I'd prefer to just not to. But if we can turn the camera around for a minute and look way out there in the distance, you can barely see just that little thing right there. That's a grill, which is confusing. Not confusing because grills are confusing. I understand the basic concept of grills, or I think I understand how I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know how most things work, so I guess I don't understand how grills work necessarily. But that's not the confusing part. The confusing part is those buildings right there are offices for different types of therapy. You know, psychological stuff, not physical therapy, stuff of the mind, you know, therapy for couples, therapy for individuals, children, blah, blah, blah. So my question is, why is there a grill? What possible purpose would a bunch of psychologists and psychiatrists need with a grill? I mean, I guess you'll have a cookout, sure, that's fine, but like, is that one grill for everybody? Because, I mean, there's probably 30 or 40 offices, and there's probably 50 plus employees there, and they have to share that one grill? That seems cruel. If it's someone's individual grill, what does that mean? I'm very confused, and as I am walking with this confusion, I'm looking at these tracks here on the pond. They're almost like snowmobile tracks, which is also kind of odd. Probably because there's no way in hell this pond can hold snowmobile tracks. Secondly, because like if it's an animal, which is not, because I'm looking at footprints now. Here, maybe I can get closer, and maybe this will. Ooh, standing on a deck that I'm less than confident about, but whoa, almost slipped and died to my death. Yeah, those are definitely human footprints. Someone has walked and dragged their way across this pond. And look, I like this vlog a lot. I think it's fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna stand on a frozen pond. Like, it was one thing in Minnesota when there were dozens of people doing it. That seems a terrible idea. I already stood on a frozen river today. I feel like I've sacrificed enough for the vlog for one day. Maybe another day I'll stand on a frozen pond. But let's just stick with not going to Costco. That's the moral of today. Don't go to Costco because it's not worth the effort. Sorry, Costco.